Ben Simmons, you're not that good.
The most disliked player in the NBA, given how poorly things have gone, there hasn't been a worse stretch for any star talent and former All-Star making this much noise by not playing basketball. His image, reputation, and name already tarnished. Just 25 years old, Ben Simmons' NBA career going forward's a question mark. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. 3 years left in his ridiculous max contract, the former near consensus #1 pick was looked at as the future of the NBA, all-time great potential, drew comparisons to the likes of Magic Johnson and LeBron James. All the things about his scouting report as an elite playmaker, defense and rebounding on point, the size, athleticism, and speed made him the clear #1 pick. Although there were a few chatter debates between him versus Brandon Ingram, the majority of teams back then would have all taken Simmons. The only #1 picks more hyped in the 21st century over Ben, Anthony Davis and Zion as can't miss prospects, Simmons in the same level as hype as the John Walls and Blake Griffins of the world. Despite missing the tournament with LSU and barely trying in the second half of that season, the 19 point, 12 rebound, 5 assists and 2 steal averages too good to pass up.
Ben Simmons comes in, and that transition to coming in, how tough is that going to be for a guy playing that position and can't shoot?
And with that team, no, they really don't have shooters. They got some mixed matched pieces, a lot of bigs. I think Simmons is probably the right guy. The only thing really about Simmons, well, he can't shoot. He'll get serviceable, I think. Great talent, great passer, knows the game. But I think if you ask people around LSU, around the league, he's got some immaturity issues, and I think that's what kind of frightens teams a little bit. He's just
on the court or off the court?
I think more so off the court. I think there are questions about his ability to be a really good teammate.
After the no-show Game 4 appearance, when announced he was anticipated to play,
Ben Simmons plans to make his return on Monday in Game 4 against the Celtics, and certainly that's barring any kind of a setback, but he's been pain-free for over a week plus now. He's ramped up, scrimmaging, practicing against his teammates.
Posted an IG stories days before showing off his shoes, indicating he was on the basketball court. Emoji stream coming out of his nose fooled us all, gave us false hope. This was the famous Reggie Miller tweet that started it all about his lack of competitiveness. Rightfully so, Miller continued to bash Ben on the Dan Patrick Show.
For him to say, I'm not going to play Game 3, but I could play Game 4. If you could play Game 4, you could play Game 3, when your team needs you the most. So you let that slide. Then when you go down 3-0, you can't come back and say, my back is hurting, I had a misstep. The optics of it just looks bad. You can't hint of coming back and then all of a sudden be put back on the shelf. That was the whole point I was making, because they need you. And as slim of a chance as it was, they were never going to come back and win that series. But you still do have Kevin Durant and a Kyrie. And if you win one game, you don't know, someone could twist the ankle in Boston and they be down one guy. Your team has got to feel like they can trust you.
Things gotten so low to the point, Dan Patrick pointed out Simmons potentially playing in the Summer League, which is at this point might be a possibility given all the times passed and questionable confidence if Simmons is actually mentally right to play a real game.
Man, I would have him play in the Summer League, Reg. I like at some point I got to have him out there.
Reggie made another good point about no way will Ben play in the Summer League.
No way they're going to risk him playing in the Summer League. Because if he plays in the Summer League against G League and rookies and he gets shown up, that fan base will go crazy. They can't risk him looking bad or not looking up to par after having all this time off. They are not going to risk him playing in a Summer League game.
Thinking he's too prideful and too good, this was a forgotten video I found on Simmons during Summer League of his rookie season, showing his pathetic attitude.
That I'm really disappointed though is that, he's a young player. He should be playing tonight. You got people who are coming into the building. They want to watch him play. He's a rookie. And, taking selfies and signing autographs. I mean, you're 19. Earn your money, get out on the floor, perform, and play. When LeBron James came into this league, I don't think he ever took a night off. And you look at Kevin Durant, you look at these guys, hey, these are the best players in our league. Steph Curry right now, one of the best players in our league. I don't remember Steph Curry or any of these other young guys coming in, taking nights off in the summer league.
Good for Isaiah Thomas to question the weak motor of Simmons and letting him have it. This clip.
Don't start developing bad habits right now. You played maybe, 8 games in the summer? How can you take a day off for rest? I'm talking about the best players in our league right now when I'm talking about Thompson, Curry, Durant, LeBron James. I don't remember any of them guys getting days off in the summer league.
The nerve and audacity to fool around after not even being officially a real NBA player yet, Simmons let alone miss his entire rookie season due to a foot injury. Even during the middle of his rookie season, anticipated to make a return January when the NBA announced the Rockets at Sixers game time changed to 8 p.m. and televised to ESPN, minutes after, Simmons posted a picture of him on the court, even played 5-on-5 in practice, of course, provided false hope after questionable to officially shutting him down, a decision that didn't matter too much since the franchise ended up with another #1 pick dropping the ball, taking Markelle Fultz over Jason Tatum. After his Nets got humiliated by Jason Tatum on the court, Kendrick Perkins, so disgusted with no-show Simmons, even compared him to cigarettes.
I said that Ben Simmons is that pretty girl that's single, and everybody's wondering why she's single, because she smokes cigarettes. That's who Ben Simmons is, the single girl that smokes cigarettes. Newport shorts at that.
Shaq called out Simmons heavily after Boston went up 3-0 to all of a sudden reports on Simmons having more back soreness when he woke up. The former 4-time champ did not take Ben's back too kindly.
We call this a punk move. You know, when things are going good, yeah, I'm going to play in game 4. Chuck said it. If you could have played on Saturday, you could have played on Monday. Now that they lost, my back hurt. Well, if your back hurt, get some icy hot, I'll send it to you. We call this a punk move. Listen, if you're not ready to play, you would get more respect from the people if you just say, I'm not ready to play, and don't say nothing else. Don't be shooting and saying, I'm coming back, I'm going to do this. That was a punk move. Reggie's absolutely right. If you're not going to play, don't say you're going to play. I think you should play. You know,
let me say this. First of all, I knew.
Hold on.
I knew. Okay, so go ahead.
I think you should step up to the challenge and try to help your team win. But nope, he went, the punk move right. Oh, I'm not going to play, my back hurt, but we all know what that is. Ballers know what that is. Everybody else could be, he's not ready, but us, guys that live this life, we know exactly what you're doing.
Former NBA sharpshooter Tim Legler bashed Simmons for his flamboyant outfit, another bad look for creating and piling all the distractions that could have been avoided if Simmons portrayed himself better.
You do some things that can help. You do have value. Your playmaking and your defense, we need those things. And at no point has he come close to stepping on the court. Instead, he wants to sit over there, bring a lot of attention to himself with his choice of clothing and sitting up by the coaches. So he's on TV the entire game. He's not sitting on the end of the bench. He's not back in the locker room where he's saying, you know what? I don't want attention on me, man. I can't help you guys. I don't want to take away from you. I don't want people talking about me no more because of what I'm wearing or the fact that I'm not playing. But he chooses to be where he is on that bench because that's exactly what I think he does want. So everybody in the locker room now, Jay, is questioning this guy's desire to actually play. How much do you love to play? How much do you love to compete? And I think they're looking at him, fraudulently. And I don't know, he needs to get to an offseason and try to reestablish credibility with new teammates, whether that's Brooklyn or somewhere else, wherever that ends up being. He's got to reestablish himself as a guy that loves to play, and I'm in this with you, and I'm ready to go to war with you opening day next season. Nobody really cares at this point when Ben Simmons sees the court.
Legler earlier on ESPN mentioned about Simmons' weird interactions with his teammates. Does the Brooklyn Nets player actually like him? What about his credentials, or should I say lack thereof?
Listen, I think the guy's lost all credibility, period, end of story. And you can see it even when you're trying to watch, from a distance. You're trying to watch interactions that he has with his teammates. It's so awkward. It's so awkward because he's not there trying to help them, and they don't know really what this guy's about. I mean, he got there in February.
Yeah.
He hasn't played at all. And all you kept hearing about was, possibly he's going to come back this date, this date, this date. It keeps getting pushed back. And then finally, it looks like he's right on the precipice. He's going to be available for game 4. And everybody thinks that's going to happen. Not that it would matter that much to his teammates by that point, because he might be out there for one game and then go home for the summer. That's probably what would happen because they're going to get swept. So he has no credibility anymore. I think they're looking at him like, much like Stephen A was just talking about Kyrie Irving, they've got two guys now that you question, how much do you love the game? How much do you actually love to compete? And after what happened to Ben Simmons last year against Atlanta, when we all witnessed that, I mean, that was an epic meltdown of a player that could not handle the pressure of that situation, particularly in that market. The way that he played in that entire series, not just the one dunk he passed up. Go look at the entire series, the way Ben Simmons played. He was exposed to everyone for his frailties, for his fragile psyche that he has.
Jay Williams ranting about Simmons' absence during the Nets-Celtics series, the outfits, everything else besides playing the game. Williams later mentioned, although he did bash Simmons, he's had enough of the bashing and rallied to support his medal fight, but unfortunately, many people simply not buying it.
I want you to look at the TV screen.
Yes.
I want you to see the lamb green jackets. I want you to see the shades. I want you to see the chains.
Like LL Cool J
I want
back
you
in
to
the day.
see the New York Knicks outfit. We're questioning whether this man wants to play or not. You're not questioning what kind of style he wants to wear at the damn game.
Thinking of a master plan.
He's
How about playing
filing
basketball?
for the $20 million grievance. What are we doing? I want to see some competitive fire. I want to see you say, you know what? You need 5 minutes in a do or die game 4. I'm going to give you at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes. But all these outfits, and I know I'm being petty. Man.
Williams later mentioned, although he did bash Simmons, he's had enough of the bashing and rallied to support his medal fight, but unfortunately, many people simply not buying it.
How in the hell do we come from these areas and come from the gutter and make it out to success to take care of our families, and all of a sudden we got mental problems? All of a sudden we blaming everything on this mental health. Man, we went through way worse shit when we was broke.
The coach he had is somebody that knew him as a teenager, as a kid. So when he got there, they just let him be him. They never forced him to work on his game or a jump shot. It's been talked about a couple of years, but now it's at the point where everybody sees it, and then you see it's affecting the ability of the team to be successful, right? So now they're like, okay, either you gonna shoot or we gotta get rid of you. But they should have done that when he first got there, bro.
I don't want to hear no more about what Ben Simmons is saying in meetings. Like, it's time for you to show us. Like, we tired of hearing what you're saying, and we're getting better in this area. We're cleaning up this area. How long is it going to take you to clean your house?
The great Charles Barkley gave props to a younger, hungrier player in the league who made no excuses when he was injured compared to the perception of Simmons.
If you go back and look at that Toronto game we had Saturday, that boy who won Rookie of the Year,
Scotty Barnes,
he was out there on one leg playing. He didn't try to do anything. He just like, I gotta try to help my team. I don't even know if he scored.
I think he had 6 points, but he had 11 rebounds.
Yeah, but he was just trying.
Yeah.
And like, when your team is down 2-0, you gotta try to play. I was so impressed with Scotty Barnes, but Ben Simmons, man, when the players don't respect you, that's a big deal. When the player says, we can't count on this dude. Like, fans, they're going to come and go when things are good and bad, and I love the fans. But Ben is getting to the point now where your teammates are like, yo, man, does this dude want to play basketball? Clearly it happened in Philly, and now it's happening like, yo, man, we need something. We need something. Because remember they were saying, like, we're going to give us 20 minutes. Remember that, Kenny, last week? He going to give us 20, like, yo, man, try to give me 20 minutes. And if you go out there and you can't play, we're like, hey, man, thanks for trying. Yeah. Thanks for trying.
But at no point in this year have we seen him say, I'm going to do this for someone other than myself. That's what champions do.
When talking if Simmons can even play 2 minutes, how things would have been viewed differently, the TNT crew also wondered how Simmons got hurt.
If he walked out and played 2 minutes
and then
said, yo, this is hurting.
Yeah.
I'm going to
The players would respect
the whole arena would have rocked.
Yeah. The players is back
players.
hurt. No.
Yeah.
Man, how's his back hurt?
Well, he hurt his back. I don't know how he hurt.
Doing what?
I don't know.
Sitting on his ass?
I don't know.
I know if you sit on your ass all the time, your back probably going to hurt. But that's just me.
This was Chuck and Shaq on The Big Podcast reacting to Ben Simmons September of 2021 after demanding a trade from the Sixers.
I'm disappointed in Ben Simmons.
Michelle, when you give somebody $200 million to dribble a stupid basketball, and the only thing you ask them is be better as a player, and their first response is, I don't want to play here anymore. That disappoints me as a player. It disappoints me as a fan. They're not asking him to come over and play with his kids. They're not saying, hey, come over here and cut my grass. They're saying, Ben, we need you to learn how to shoot the basketball. And his first response is, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't think that's right. I don't think that's fair to the 76ers. He took their money. They're only asking him to be a better basketball player. But like I say, you know, the toothpaste out the tube. The players run the league now.
Right.
But to me, this is very disappointing as a player.
You're pretty good. Pretty good is not great. You've been pretty good at LSU, pretty good in high school, pretty good. But if you want to get to that next level, you have to be great. And to be great, you have to work on your game. Don't be putting pictures on your Instagram or your Ferrari or what actress you're hanging around with. When you play for a town like Philadelphia, Boston, LA, Miami, hard-working town, they don't give a shit about none of that. They want you to come, work hard, and play hard. I was at that game 6 when that man didn't even look at the basket. I was there. And I know as a player, first thing I do is I look in the player's eyes. That man was out there terrified. And, you know, terrified, not terrified of playing, but terrified of being fouled and missing free throws. Forget all that. And it's the same thing I told Giannis when I saw him. I said, look, man, forget that. 3 things going to happen. You're going to make it, you're going to miss it, or you're going to shoot an air ball. And yes, when you get paid $200, $300 million, you have a responsibility. You know, a lot of these people, you hear from your followers how good you are, how great you are, but you're hearing from some OGs right now. You ain't that damn good. And I said it, and I said what I said. And Chuck said what he said. If you don't like it, do what you got to do. But you ain't that damn good.
In game 4 through 7 against Atlanta Hawks, he did not take it. Game 4 through 7, he never attempted a field goal in the fourth quarter. That's impossible. So we really talking about a guy who's going to make $40 million. And the only thing the Sixers have said to him, yo, man, you got to get better. And his first response, instead of saying, no, you know what? I got to get better as a player. His response is, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't think that's right.
Ben Simmons has been building orphanages like this one completely out of his playoff bricks.
Difference between him and his soft partner is he can take criticism without being a crybaby, and he still wants to play. Because me and Charles, we've been on him. We stay on him. We tell him to his face what he needs to do. He didn't cry. He didn't say, I want to be traded. He didn't, complain about mistreatment. And that's the difference. That's why I like and respect him. The other guy I don't respect. I've been thinking about it. You're missing the whole season because they asked your coach a question, can we win without you? And your coach gave a funny answer. That should tell you need to get in the summertime and work on your game. Ben Simmons messing the money up. Because first of all, they already think we're spoiled. They already think we don't deserve it. They already think we're this. They already think we're that. You're making $40 million, and the only reason why you're not playing is because your coach called you out. You're making us look bad. What's going to happen in the next collective bargaining agreement, they're going to start to shorten their money. It's going to be all your fault.
Here is Jalen Rose talking about Ben Simmons' unprofessionalism and questioning his mental health status.
This is unprofessional. Because you signed a contract to play basketball with the Philadelphia Sixers. You're unhappy with your role with the team. Regardless of your physical stature, if it's your back or if it's your mental and psychological evaluations, you owe it to them to work with you, if that's what you need. For you to purposely not use them and to go around them, it now just opens the door for people to say, is he really now dealing with a mental health issue if he's ignoring the team and they're trying to give him support?
Another Barkley take on Simmons.
This dude has done everything he can not to be re-recruited. They started off the season begging him to come back. So they have massaged him, Shaq. They want to go see him. He said, don't come see me. He came, and then he acted like a jerk in practice. They wanted him back. Then, because he wanted to get paid, he came back. Then he came back, and like I say, he started acting like a jerk, and they kicked him out. They gave him another chance. They said, okay, you said you got some issues. He said, no, I don't want to see your guys. They started finding him again. Now he's back. They've been over backwards to kiss this dude's ass. Now they start kicking his ass. Like, there's only two. You kiss somebody's ass or you kick their ass. It's time for them to kick his ass.
There is a middle ground.
Talking more about Simmons' attitude at practice, here's what Paul Pierce had to say.
Ben Simmons first. What the hell do you see as a player?
You know what? If Doc kick you out of practice, then you that's bad. Because I ain't never seen. I think I've seen Doc kick somebody out of practice maybe once.
Wow.
Like Doc ain't gonna kick you out for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You really gotta be an asshole for Doc to kick you out of practice. Because Doc is one of the coolest coaches. You know, he understands the player.
Yeah.
Upon digging more deeply into my Simmons research, Tracy McGrady on Rachel Nichols' show The Jump back in 2016 mentioned about a presumptive first overall pick didn't pay the proper respect to NBA legends without naming a specific name.
I appreciate this guy. He's a stand-up dude. We were all in the suite last night, and he came in there, he introduced himself to everybody and spoke. And there was one guy that just walked in there and acted like, you know, he didn't know.
Who are you talking about, Tracy?
They say he might be the #1 pick. Here's, you know, Bill Russell in there, Vince Carter, myself.
Years later, looking at Simmons' attitude and personality, everybody knows it's not so surprising after all. What T-Mac referred to was drawing Game 6 of the 2016 Finals. And look what I found, Ben Simmons posing with a picture with Jay-Z in the 2016 Finals Game 6, so Simmons was in attendance, so I'm 99.9% sure Tracy McGrady was talking about Simmons. Here is a non-former player's reaction. Grant Napier rants on Simmons, former Sacramento Kings play-by-play announcer, ripping Ben to shreds.
This is a guy that quit on his teammates at LSU, quit on the Philadelphia 76ers, and now is doing the same to the Brooklyn Nets. Back soreness? They ought to put next to his name on the injury report, gutless. Gutless, because that's what Ben Simmons is. Absolutely gutless. Simmons has a heart the size of an acorn. This is bad news. It's a bad look for professional sports, and I hope the Brooklyn Nets fans boo his ass off the floor if and when he ever steps onto the floor at the Barclays Center. What a joke. Seriously, what an absolute joke this guy is. And he and his agent have the nerve to try to get $20 million in back pay that the Sixers held from him because he refused to work? Again, Ben Simmons. Everything that's wrong with professional sports.
After being the biggest absolute travesty of any player over the last year, one full year goes by. This is the question we're still waiting to see.
Ben Simmons will have to look in the mirror and say, do I want to be a great player or I just want to be a famous player and make a lot of money? He's got to answer that question.
Doc, do you think Ben Simmons can still be a point guard for a championship team like the one you guys want to become?
Yeah, David, I don't know that question or the answer to that right now.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Will Ben Simmons ever get it together, play ball, and become a good teammate for once? Work on the things to improve to make him a superstar? Or will he be out the league before we know it? Given how poorly things have been handled, if there was one advice Ben Simmons can take from any former player, this was what the legendary Kobe Bryant said about what Simmons must do years ago, still resonates to this very day.
How far can Ben Simmons go?
Well, he's got to get a jump shot. It's like, it sounds humorous and all that, but I'm dead ass serious. You can't, like, you know, because if not, he'll regret it. When his career is over, and you look at what he's doing now without that is astonishing. Now imagine you can shoot the ball. What does that open up for you? You don't want to retire. No, seriously, you don't want to retire and look back and go, man, if I just had a jump shot, what would I have done? You don't want that. You don't want that. So I don't care if you have to lock yourself in the gym 10 hours a day. If this kid gets a jump shot, it's a serious, serious problem. A serious, serious problem. So, I mean, to answer your question, the sky's the limit for him. He can be as good as he wants to be.